What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global here, back with another video. On this one, we got some more trade deadline news here. Trade deadline, of course, very much approaching. We are getting quicker and quicker to that November 3rd trade deadline, and things are just continuing to pick up. No big trades have been made yet, but a lot of big names are continuing day by day to be put on the trade block. Now, the New England Patriots are already rumored in 2 players. These 2 players are from the Giants. If you haven't checked that video out, go ahead and check that out on my channel. In this one, we have heard that there is a rumor going around that the New England Patriots are actually looking to trade with the Houston Texans for wide receiver Will Fuller. Now, of course, this makes a lot of sense. One, the New England Patriots need several amounts of help throughout the entirety of this team, but especially at wide receiver. And then on the other spectrum of this for the Texans, they're looking to ship off at this point anybody. They're in a complete rebuild mode. They already said that any receiver that they have pretty much is up for grabs, along with pretty much any other single player on that team. Something I would say to watch for with this trade, though, is the fact that Jack Easterby is really taking over for the Texans right now. He's the guy that the trades and all and whatnot have to go through. He is the guy right now with O'Brien being fired, and Easterby and the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, they have some pretty bad blood after, Easterby went to the Houston Texans. Then he tried to reel away Nick Caserio from the Patriots, kind of illegally by NFL terms. So got in trouble for that. And all in all, just very bad blood between the two. So just Belichick, if you want to talk to him for a potential trade, we'll just have to see. But nonetheless, they are looking into Will Fuller. Now, Will Fuller, to me, is not the guy they should go after. Now, I'm going to get into why they shouldn't go after him. I'm going to get into what he brings, why they could potentially be looking at him. But in my own opinion, I would pass on this one. Now, believe it or not, Will Fuller has been in the NFL now for about 4 seasons. Honestly, I thought that he was in the NFL much longer than that, but he was actually drafted in the first round by the Houston Texans in the 2016 NFL Draft. Sitting at 6'4", 172 pounds. I can't say he's going to bring too much help to the New England Patriots, height-wise, build-wise, aspect-wise, just because, of course, sitting at 6 foot, it's slightly better than a Julian Edelman / Jameer Byrd, but not by much. He's not a 6'2", 6'3", 6'4 receiver, so I can't say height-wise he's going to bring something to help out Cam Newton. What he does have, what he is known for, and why he essentially is a guy that teams would look to trade for, one reason, and that is his speed. He is a speedster in the NFL. If you're looking at categories of wide receivers, that is what he would fall under. He actually ran the same 40 time as Brandon Cooks. He ran a 4.32. So 100%, he is one of the faster wide receivers in the NFL. Now, this could be both good, this could be both bad for the New England Patriots. Now, of course, they do have a speedster wide receiver in Jameer Byrd, ran a 4.28 at his combine, so they already have that. But really, if NFL defenses want to shut down Jameer Byrd, it isn't all that hard. I think, though, if you have Jameer Byrd and Will Fuller running go routes, that speed can be pretty deadly. How are defenses going to be able to cover both of those guys, plus the other receivers, tight ends, running backs on the field? It's going to be tough. And I think that right now the New England Patriots are sitting at a point where they have a deep threat kind of in Jameer Byrd, but keep in mind, Jameer Byrd over the years has really skipped around from team to team. He's not been a guy that teams have really been interested in. He hasn't essentially made his mark. He's definitely nowhere near the caliber of a Will Fuller, Brandon Cooks, etc. Now, statistically, Will Fuller has never been bad. When I talk about his yards per reception, you'll see exactly what I mean by a guy that is a deep threat, a guy who moves the chains. But he's not someone who's going to put up 1,000 yards. He's never done that. In fact, the closest he's got is a little over 600 yards. That was his best season, and ironically, that was actually last year, 2019, with 670 receptions. He was targeted 71 times with targeted 71 times with 49 receptions, playing in just 11 games, 13.7 yards per reception, total of 3 touchdowns, long reception of 54 yards. I mean, even in his first year in 2016, he averaged 13.5 yards per reception on the year. 2017, 15.1 yards per reception on the year. 2018, 15.7 yards per reception on the year. Now, as for 2020 so far, he has appeared in 7 games in which he has been targeted 47 times, 31 receptions, 490 yards. So he's on pace to have the best season yet of his career, averaging 15.8 yards per reception again, best of his career so far, 5 touchdowns, and a long reception so far of 53 yards. The big thing with Will Fuller, too, also comes down to health. The reason that I feel that Will Fuller would not really be a guy that I think should come to the New England Patriots partially comes into the fact of his inability to stay healthy. Now, in 2016, he appeared in 14 games. Didn't play a full season. 2017, 10 games. 2018, 7. 2019, 11. And then, of course, so far this season, 7. So he has never had a season where he has played an entire season. And that is completely worrisome. You know, you don't want to make a trade for a guy that is just going to end up getting injured. It's not going to help you if the guy's off the field, but it is still going to screw you over in the fact that, okay, you had to give up compensation. He's taking money up against the cap. And then the big thing here is that he is not a number 1 wide receiver. I don't know how many times I have to say this. If the New England Patriots are going to make a trade for a number 1 wide receiver. Look, I get it. It's going to cost you more. 100%. Number 1 wide receiver, 9 out of 10 times, is going to mean that it is a top quality wide receiver. But at the same time, that is what the New England Patriots need. They don't have a number 1 guy. They don't. You can try to make the argument. It's not going to go down well for you, though. I think that they have a good 2, 3, 4, but a true number 1 guy, this team does not have that. Right now, depth-wise, statistically, Damiere Byrd is your number 1 receiver. That's not even close to being accurate. If New England can get a number 1 wide receiver, I think that helps this team. I think that unlocks their ability, and I think that helps these other receivers play to their actual ability. You know, you're not going to be asking guys like Jacoby Myers, Damiere Byrd, N'Keal Harry, an injured Julian Edelman to play above what they're currently able to do. I think that if this team gets any less than a true number 1 receiver, I just question how much it's truly going to help. You know, a guy like Will Fuller or Golden Tate, I just don't think those are true number 1 wide receivers. And while I do think that they could make definitely an impact, I just can't say it's going to be enough of an impact to get this offense above the hump and to really dive them into the postseason. Now, guys, real quick, the wait for football is finally over because NFL is back. Now, I know that most of us are not able to be at games this year. I know some teams are finally able to have fans back in the stands, but the majority of us, at least as Pats fans, we're not able to be at these games. But you can still get in with all of the NFL action at BetOnline. Now, BetOnline is going the extra mile to make sure that you get in on everything imaginable for this upcoming season. All the way from game spreads and totals to team, player, and coaching props, BetOnline gives you more options to wager than any place online. Now, you can get in on their season opening bonuses today and start off wagering on win, division, and championship futures today. All you got to do is head to BetOnline today and take advantage of all of their great sign-up bonuses. Again, that is BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Now, from a contract aspect, you know, that's the last part I want to get in this video is contract and compensation. If the Patriots got him, what does his contract look like? How many years does he have? What type of money does he have? And of course, what would the Patriots have to give up to get him? So The contract part also does not make me happy. This is not a guy that I would want to trade for. Me personally, I think if the New England Patriots are going to trade for a guy, they should get a guy with multi-years left on his contract. Build a repertoire within the system, within the chemistry with coaches and quarterback Cam Newton, Jarrett Stidham, Brian Hoyer, what have you. Not have a guy come in halfway through the season just to be a free agent at the end of this year. With that being said, Will Fuller is in contract year, meaning that at the end of the season, 2021, he's an unrestricted free agent. He will also be taking up about $10 million. $10 million as a cap hit. Now, the New England Patriots will not have to pay all of that because we are hitting that halfway mark. So the Texans would definitely have to pick up some of that, but still, that is a little bit too much for my liking. And you know what? If the New England Patriots really want to get him signed that much, just sign him as an undrafted or unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. Compensation-wise, I could see them asking for a 4th or 5th round. I think anything before that is just too much. I'd be surprised if they wanted anything outside of that due to his speed. The fact that the Texans do have to pay part of that $10 million, and the fact that he's put up fair numbers. It's nothing crazy, nothing spectacular at all, but still put up fair numbers. Again, I can see why there is interest in a guy like Will Fuller, especially with his speed. I think it'd be interesting to see what it would be like to have multiple speedsters on the offense at once, but I just don't think that this really makes the world of difference. In fact, I kind of struggle to see how exactly this is going to take the offense to the next level. I'm passing on it. It just does not have enough check marks for me. It has a lot of X's on it, so I'm passing. What are your guys' thoughts on this though? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to give this video a big thumbs up if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. But like always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.